Now, BMW have always been at the forefront of EV technology development. The i8 was ahead of its time, the i3 was ahead of its time, but now with EVs becoming more and more accepted in the industry, they thought it's the best time to come out with this, the BMW iX XDrive 40. Mind you, it has quite a lot of competition in our shores with the E-Tron from Audi and the I-Pace from Jaguar. But today I'm here to tell you guys all about the XDrive 40, so stay tuned. Now, when it comes to design, we've very conveniently parked next to this E38 7 Series. This is a 25-year-old car, and we've parked it right next to this one so that you guys can see the difference of design language between 25 years. Now, 25 years ago, sedans were the norm of luxury, and that's exactly what the 7 Series is. This is an E38, which is from 1994, and it is definitely something that is made out of very heavy materials, not very environmentally friendly materials on the inside, and it is an absolute barge to drive. Huge engine inside, and it is very unfriendly towards the environment. On the other hand, this is what's in fashion now. A crossover type SUV with a very mean grille in the front, a lot of new design languages, just like how BMW intended. The iX definitely ambassadors the new generation design language of BMW with the fat gaping kidney grille. And let's start from the front, shall we? The fat kidney grille is not that functional, but all of the active vents that were part of the kidney grille in other cars are now at the bottom, and that works very seamlessly, but it's nothing visible. The kidney grille has something really cool where the top is coated with nanotechnology, and it actually heals itself if there's a scratch or any dink in the grille. Pretty cool. And moving on towards the side of the front bumper, you've got an air vent right here to the side so that the air passes through the entire car and cuts through the air very nicely, giving you more mileage from aerodynamics.
Now, say what you want about the iX's design, but it is radical and unique for sure. For a family e-SUV, this garners quite a lot of attention. Doesn't matter if the car was parked or going down the road, people seem to look at it with a certain awe that only the fanciest sports cars and supercars can command. Some other things to note is that yes, EVs don't have a block type powertrain in the front. All of the batteries and motors are underneath the car and parallel to the wheel. So usually many EVs have what is called a frunk. But the iX weirdly doesn't have a frunk. The front bonnet is sealed shut, and you can open it only if you have some special tools with you.
Now, when it comes to the side profile, the car definitely looks rather big in the pictures, and it looks slightly disproportionate from the pictures I saw, but in person, it's a very gorgeous car. It looks very proportionate. The 18-inch wheels look very nice on this setup, and it is rather long, yes, but it's nothing that you can't handle. It's a very pretty car, and it swoops a little lower back towards the C-pillar. It slightly swoops downward to give it that fast sportback look, and it looks definitely very good. When it comes to the materials, the leather is naturally tanned because most of the components used in the car are ethically sourced and environmentally friendly. So the rich color has still remained intact of the leathers, and in fact I really like the way it feels now. You are wrapped around this leather from one dorsal to the other dorsal throughout the back seat, and it is a very nice thing to touch. The cushions are very soft. They like sink you into the seat very nicely, but one small problem I've got is that I could have asked for a little bit more thigh support. The seats do recline pretty nicely, and that is because of the CLAR architecture of the that BMW's iX has been made under. This now has all of the batteries across the floor, and the two motors are like right at both the axles. So that gives BMW a lot of space to play around with, because now the boot space is 500 liters, which is pretty respectable given that I've got this much space in the back seat. Now, yes, you've seen this amount of luxury in other ICE cars, but where this it one-ups those ICE engines is in the road noise. Because this is an electric car, the back seat is very quiet. I can practically fall asleep here, but there will be one problem while I fall asleep. This photochromatic sunroof does not turn black, or I have not got sunshades, so to take a nap I am going to have to deal with a bright day if I need to. When it comes to air conditioning, you've got 4-zone climate control where you can control it right here from the center console in the back seat. You've got a vent in the center console itself and one right here in the B pillar. They do a very good job. And you've also got one that's really cool, that's right on the floor for your feet to be cooled down, and it looks like a Naka duct, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure you guys will see it on the B-roll. And apart from that, the interior feels very plush. The suspension is not felt a lot, and the travel is also not felt a lot in the back seat. It's very smooth, but I'm pretty sure you guys want to see me in the driver's seat and talk to you guys about how it is to drive. So let's do just that. Now, behind the wheel of the BMW iX, it is, first impressions, it's pretty much drives like any normal car when you're driving it sedately. You've got 5 modes, which are expressive, efficient, sport, relax, and personal. Personal being your own settings, your own custom settings where you can customize them, and sport being the sportiest option where you can go for sport plus, and it deactivates DSC just enough for you to have optimum traction. Efficient is the greenest and most efficient way of driving it. Expressive is the most dynamic way of it to drive, and relax is basically the least effort where you need to drive. Driving it in separate modes, you've got the feature of iconic sounds, where in every separate mode the car sounds completely different. All of these sounds have been engineered by Hans Zimmer himself, and let's just take a listen to what does sport sound like. So I'm going to activate sport and just floor it. And it sounds like the Death Star is starting to shoot a planet. That is quite a cool noise, and even in expressive you've got a different noise. In relax you've got this soothing, calming noise when you floor it. It feels like a very nice sporty planted car. When you're driving it sedately, you can expect maybe 350 kilometers of range, but driving it the way we've driven it today, we are expecting maybe 200. That is the part and parcel of having a battery. You're going to be having to pay the price in terms of electric range. Now, when it comes to charging this car, at home, if you charge it in a 3-pin plug, you are going to be taking 33 hours to charge this car fully. But in how you are supposed to be charging this car is taking it to a public charger, which will be either 50 kilowatts or 150 kilowatts in India, and it charges much quicker. A 50 kilowatt charger will charge the car in maybe 71 minutes, and a 150 kilowatt hour charger, which is slightly rarer, will charge the car in basically 20 minutes. And that is a pretty that's like have a chai and then get back to your car, and your car is fully charged all the way for the other way home.
The interior of the iX is truly its highlight though. BMW have gone for a very funky and minimalist approach towards the interior, with everything being finished in eco-friendly materials like wood, metal and crystal. The knobs for the controls are finished in crystals and look really fancy, so does the center console, which is finished in wood. The iX now gets the latest generation of BMW's iDrive, which is iDrive 8, and gets 2 completely new screens which are integrated into one single piece on the dashboard. iDrive is slightly different to the version before and does take some getting used to, but once you get used to it, it isn't a hassle. Also, a big shout out to BMW for leaving the scroller wheel in this car. It makes it a million times easier to use on the go. The instrument cluster is also now a part of the massive curved display. Takes away the feel of what used to feel like a proper cockpit, and now it looks like a TV stuck on the dash. But the graphics are great, pretty easy to use, but what is not so easy to use is the two-spoke steering, which is in the shape of a hexagon. But hey, this is the reason why you would buy the iX. Whereas the I-Pace, E-Tron and EQC feel like conventional cars turned into EVs, the iX feels like a concept car turned into a production car. That's how wild the interior is. It feels like the future. And that's exactly why you should buy the iX, because it feels like BMW has at least tried to make something unique and interesting instead of making it feel conventional. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel, let us know what you thought on the iX, and we will catch you in the next one.